The US and the EU are working on alternative options for gas supplies to Europe. The US and the EU are working on alternative ways of gas supplies to Europe in case of possible aggravation of tensions in eastern Ukraine. This was stated by Pentagon spokesman John Kirby. RIA Novosti reported on the air of the Fox News TV channel. This is how he answered the question about the possibility to ensure energy security of Europe in case of escalation of the Ukrainian crisis. Russia has repeatedly assured its partners on the raw materials market that energy supplies are independent of the political situation. The Kremlin stressed that Russia had always impeccably fulfilled its contractual obligations. Recently, Western countries have been persistently accusing Russia of allegedly preparing an invasion of Ukraine. Moscow rejected such allegations and explained that insinuations in the pro-Washington press about Russian aggression serve as a pretext for NATO to deploy weapons to the borders of Russia. Earlier, Radio Sputnik reported on why the certification of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline might not be completed until the summer. The US warned of disaster in case of tough sanctions against Russia. The planet can expect serious economic consequences if tough sanctions are imposed on Russia, according to the forecast of Washington Post columnist Anthony Faiola. As the author recalled, Moscow is an important exporter of agricultural goods, metals, and energy. According to him, the repressive steps of the West would strike first of all the global supply chains and toughen the rules of the game on the raw materials market. Natural gas, nickel, copper and platinum prices will rise, which are necessary for production of many goods from cars to spaceships, the material says. Faiola noted that Russia is one of the largest exporters of grain on the planet. Rejection of its products will trigger a global inflationary spiral, which in many countries is already at an all-time high, writes the columnist. According to the journalist, the consequences of anti-Russian sanctions will be felt not only by global consumers, but also by Americans themselves. In such a scenario, prices in supermarkets will skyrocket, he complained. Western countries threaten Russia with unprecedented sanctions if the conflict in Ukraine escalates. Moscow has repeatedly stressed that it has no aggressive intentions against the neighboring republic. Sergei Naryshkin, director of the Foreign Intelligence Service, called the Western leaders' claims of an invasion malicious propaganda by the U.S. State Department. For his part, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stressed that Russia had never threatened the Ukrainian people. Americans have named the reason for Biden's enmity with Russia. The administration of U.S. President Joe Biden is using Russia to distract voters from America's domestic problems. The readers of Breitbart portal drew such conclusions after they learned about Biden's conversation with his Ukrainian counterpart Vladimir Zelensky. On Thursday, Biden called Zelensky and promised to help Ukraine in the event of a Russian invasion. The article notes, however, that Ukrainians themselves do not believe a military conflict with their eastern neighbor is possible. It also notes the American leader's rejection of sanctions against the Russian-German Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline, which Kyiv opposes. This decision of Biden in his time unpleasantly surprised Zelensky, the author writes. In addition, the Kyiv authorities were offended at Washington for not imposing restrictions against Moscow for military pressure. Readers of the portal criticized the American president and pointed to his personal interests in escalating the situation around Ukraine and increasing confrontation with Russia. Zelensky can't sleep well if he thinks Biden supports him, No More Lying wrote. He also expressed doubt that the American leader is able to find Ukraine on the map. Jonah responded that Biden knows where Russia's neighboring republic is because his son Hunter is a board member of a Ukrainian gas company. Hunter had absolutely no experience in the gas business. He was paid $30,000 to $80,000 a month, he added. Biden doesn't even support America. Why on earth would he support Ukraine? Max Cossack asked. CTN said the White House needs Russia to distract Americans from real problems. Biden should be in jail for selling out the United States, the user wrote. Guido Sarducci called claims of an imminent war in Ukraine a circus. David Berger is sure that the confrontation with Russia is necessary for the arms manufacturers in the United States Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. And they have enough money, power, and influence to create these scare stories out of nothing, even if they don't exist, he added. Let's stop talking about Ukraine's border problems. We need to worry about our own. It's disgusting, he urged.